live here. Good morning. Good morning. I'm here with Brent from Good Brothers Coffee. If you're regular to our channel, you guys know Brent from Good Brothers Coffee. He been hooked me up with coffees over the years. How many years been, Brent?
I think it's gonna be 4.5.
Yeah, it's
It's
quite
been a
some
while.
time now, right? It's been a quite
Mhm.
some time. So Brent is actually a big part of our channel as well. Yeah. I mean, we are way go back. So hold on
That's
before
right.
we. Okay, we are good to go. If you have any questions or comment, let me know. Okay, I have my monitor set up there as well, and also Breen can look at your questions too. So it should be fun. By the way, tell me about this watermelon burst. This thing
Yeah.
is, I haven't even opened it yet, but if I smell from the back,
Yeah, it's incredible.
wow, this thing is incredible. Can you tell me about the process?
Sure. It's a triple fermented process with co-ferment with watermelon. So we got
Yeah.
this from Royal Coffee. It's a crown
Hmm.
jewel. We bought around 20 pounds initially to test, and
Yeah.
they were sold out before we even got it. So we only
Hmm.
had about 20 pounds with it. So we sold out within like hours, pretty much. And it's got this nice watermelon Jolly Rancher kind
Yep.
of bubble gum, the
Hmm.
watermelon flavor to it. And it's a co-ferment, which we don't mind drinking more than one cup.
Hmm.
That's pretty much what we look for in kind of very expressive co-ferment coffees. Is we typically will get sick of them halfway through, through one cup, and we this is definitely a one that we can drink
Okay.
often and not get sick
Wow.
of.
So I cannot wait to brew. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna be brewing with the Xbloom. Okay, Xbloom, and you're gonna use Xbloom, right?
Yeah, I'll probably be. We have our Columbia, which I'll probably brew on there. I
Okay.
do have some our samples of the watermelon
Okay.
as well.
Watermelon.
Yep, from when we were testing it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So what is your recommendation for
yeah.
Xbloom grind size?
Um,
Are
we
you
use
using are you using
yeah.
the just a standard car? I have this standard car here.
Sure. We're on the easy mode on there, and the
Okay.
default profile on
Yep.
C is a decaf profile. So
Okay.
typically, it's a little bit of a lighter temperature because it
Uh-huh.
extracts so easy.
Okay.
I don't know exactly. I can probably find out when I put it in there with the grind setting was. But if anything, it's probably a little bit more coarse because it does tend to extract a little bit easy. You're gonna get the watermelon kind of flavor
Wow.
no matter what you do. So
Man,
um
this smells like goodness, incredible. Okay,
we are
incredible.
gonna get more. We have about 100 pounds of more watermelon. Not the same exact lot, but something
Okay.
that's like 95% similar. That we
Hmm.
tested. We're getting it from Tipica, and it's gonna be here, I think, in May or March, end of
Okay.
March. So we are getting more of the watermelon co-ferment. So
Okay, so for my X Bloom, I'm gonna be using my standard setting.
okay.
Okay. Which means so if you guys have X Bloom, they're gonna give you this basic cards. Okay. So this is just a standard menu there, standard card. So it comes to grind size, 65 for the grind size. And I like to change the ratio, okay, to like 1 to 16 or so. And for this coffee, which ratio do you like? 1 to
Um
16, 1 to 17, what?
yeah, 1 to 16 will work. 1 to 17 works too. I definitely would
Okay.
have a little bit of a longer ratio. I'll see if I can find my card as well,
Yeah.
and which I think I have it right here. And we'll do the
Yep.
same.
Yep.
We'll do the same setting.
Okay. So it comes to grind size. I said it's 65.
Okay.
So you like the faster brew or
Typically, yeah, for this particular one.
okay.
I think the less extraction, the better on these typically.
Hmm.
Yeah, what is the default grind size on that they recommend in the card here? Is this
The
15
default is
grams? It's probably
yeah.
15 grams.
The default for this car is 17 gram. Okay.
Nah, it should be 15. I think
15? Yeah.
I
So
think
this
so.
card, yeah. So I'm gonna change the 16, 1 to 16 ratio. I got 65 for the grind
Yeah.
size,
Yep.
and
That
then
you're gonna go to 16 on the ratio.
yep,
So okay, I'll do that too. 15 grams at 16 in the middle.
yep, and
Let's
then
do it.
65 for the grind size. And by the way, if you have a Commandante, I like to go Commandante pre-course. Okay, I believe I said that for last time I did it with with pretty much Commandante. Man, hold on a second. Your light spirit is asking me. I'm gonna find that for you. Okay.
I'm gonna start mine right now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20. I think I said around 20. Okay. All right. So what's the grind size you set at, Brent?
It was
65 as well?
the default one,
What
which I
is
think
it?
is
65?
I think so.
Okay. So by the way, I'm using the T90 paper. Okay. And you are using the regular paper, right?
Yep, I'm using the Xbloom paper,
Xbloom
which
paper.
we've been pretty happy with.
Good. Okay. And did you do RDT whenever you're doing the grinder?
I did not.
Okay.
We typically don't really have too much of an issue with static on the
Okay.
Xbloom. Um, but I'm not opposed to it at all.
Okay.
Depends how many steps
That's
you
it.
want to do.
Yeah. Oh
You
my.
should
Well,
you should be able to smell it. Water. It should fill up the whole
yep.
room with watermelon smell. You'll see once that fan kind of gets going on the Xbloom,
Oh yeah.
you'll smell the watermelon. So mine's brewing right now. Um, yeah, kind of go back here. That's what's nice about the Xbloom is you can kind of still talk and brew.
Exactly. I mean, okay, the great thing about the Xbloom, I mean, if Brent in Michigan right now, okay, I'm here. All right. So I mean, this is like, at least we have the exact same setting and also
Right.
same water as well. I'm
That's
using the
right.
hot poly too. So
That's
pretty
right.
much we are going to experience the pretty much the similar experience. Okay. Okay, so the power plant asks you real watermelon or like Jolly Rancher? I think it's
Eh,
more like Jolly Rancher.
yeah, I think it's kind of both. I kind of get
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, very after smells like watermelon, very
Hmm.
smooth. In the beginning, hit you up with the Jolly Rancher. Okay, that's for sure. This is pretty fresh, by the way. You roasted about 10 days ago.
Is that the date on? Yeah. What's the date on
Yeah,
yours?
January 20th.
Yeah. Yeah. We did a one day session. They were in and
Okay.
out pretty much the same day.
You know what? Some of your coffee are very interesting.
Hmm.
I mean, some coffee, whenever I drink, like first 3 or 4 days are spectacular, and then after a week
Sure.
is like muted.
Yeah.
It's all
Sure.
depend on the coffee.
100%. These
Okay.
co-ferments, and like anaerobic, kind of
Uh-huh.
thermal shock, they typically will taste the same throughout. Once you start to
Hmm.
get into more washed coffees,
Uh-huh.
they tend to have a flow of them. So
Okay.
it's not uncommon to have a coffee that tastes great 14
Hmm.
days, have a dip, and then kind of come back and slingshot as far as the
Okay.
flavor goes. So we've had days here where everything's muted, um, where we kind of find out this dip in the off gassing process, and it tends
Okay.
to come back. So that's what's kind of unique about coffee and dealing with
Hmm.
nature um and seeing how that can change, but that can happen, definitely. But these co-ferments typically, they're so heavily processed forward
Yep.
that you typically won't notice that dip, if it does even occur. So that does happen, for sure.
Okay. I mean, let's see how many people are watching. It's about 30 people watching.
Let me grab mine.
Those people don't know about co-fermentation because this is not a flavored coffee, by the way. Okay, this is
Right.
not a flavored coffee. 2 minutes and 42 seconds. So can you explain our viewers that what is co-fermentation?
Sure. So The best I can.
Yeah.
They typically will, when they ferment the coffee, they typically will like seal it up and they'll add fruits to it.
Yep.
And then what they'll do is they'll wash it off afterwards, but
Mm.
the coffee will hold the essence, kind of the flavor of the fruit a little bit in there. So basically sometimes they, do it for 36 hours ish,
Yep.
kind of depending on the
Mhm.
co-ferment. And then what they'll do is they'll wash the coffee after that, and then they'll have that resonance of that fruit that you added in there. So no, they're not sprayed
That's right.
with artificial anything.
Yep.
We
Yep.
would never do that, ever. So what happens is you end up getting a cup of coffee that has these pretty intense flavors.
Okay.
Um, yeah, how have I
Here.
found roasting
Cheers.
co-ferments? Yeah, cheers. I'll read that here in a second.
Wow. Man, eat a Jolly Rancher.
Yeah, it is very sweet. It's a
Yeah.
dessert drink, in my opinion. Um, yeah, it might be a tad over extracted on that default setting.
Yeah,
What's
240. Yeah, 242. I think I might go even coarser. I'm at 67 right now. Maybe
We'll
I
see
go
how it
even
cools.
like, yeah, even like 75
Yeah, we'll
maybe.
see. We'll see how it cools. They do extract a little bit easier. What's nice
Yeah.
about the Xbloom is you can have it to where the temperature drops per pour.
Yep.
So we have some settings where the temperature will drop at the end, drop about five degrees at the end. So a couple of questions here. I kind of can get into
Uh-huh.
these. I found if I found roasting co-ferments treating like a natural or something, yeah. Typically we're gentle to start, and we will co-ferments. They can get really funky if you roast them more
Hmm.
developed. So what we typically what we see is that we will drop down our development time, which is like
Yep.
how long we roast at the end after first crack. We'll drop it down 5-10 degrees than we kind of would normally like a light medium roast. So we roast kind of extra light on these co-ferments because we don't want to get into that fermented bad funky tasting
Okay.
notes that we get. So I know for this one specifically, if we get over 13% weight loss on our beans, that's where we start to get that funkiness where we don't really like that
Hmm.
flavor. It's almost too much. So yeah, we typically will roast it lighter, basically. Let's see here. Thoughts on freezing coffee? 100%. Yeah, freezing coffee I think is extremely underutilized. Um, I think that it's kind of a game changer for us
Yep.
too. I have, coffee that we're letting rest right now for 7 weeks that we're going to be putting in the freezer here, to use. You just obviously don't want to take it in and out of the freezer constantly, kind of like ice cream with freezer burn. We what we'll do is
Uh-huh.
we'll have our one way valve on here, and we'll vacuum it actually with a vacuum, and we'll put a piece
Mm.
of tape over it, and then we'll put
You,
it in the
yep.
fridge at the optimal time. So like this coffee might be optimal at let's say like 3 to 4 weeks, and then we would just vacuum, put a piece of tape on it, which is really important, and then we'll put it in the freezer. You can vacuum seal it, but if we're unless it's like a really ultra special coffee, I'm pretty okay with using this bag to freeze it. Let's see what else. But I think try it. I think it's a great way to save coffee, not waste coffee. You're almost freezing time as well when you put it in the freezer.
Exactly.
So what happens is that you kind of have to plan it, right? So are you freezing it at optimal to where you would almost want a single dose and freeze it at that particular point? And then you'd pull out, your single doses, or are you content with, hey, I know I'm not going to drink this bag. I'm going to put it in there after 2 weeks of resting, knowing maybe 4 weeks is ideal, and I'm going to pull it out and let it sit out for 2 weeks and then drink it. That might be another thought process, but it's totally completely up to you.
Okay.
Let's see.
Jesse asked about espresso. No, I do not use espresso on this coffee. Okay, it's gonna be too intense. That's for sure. Okay, it's gonna be really, really intense for that. So yeah. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but yeah, what do you think? I mean, have you tried the
Yeah.
espresso yet?
Oh, I think I pulled one shot on it and actually was
Yeah.
better than I thought. But normally, no. It's unless you have a lot of experience with pulling co-ferments on
Yep.
espresso, you typically would do turbo shots. You want to extract
Yep.
it probably
Turbo. Yep.
turbo, and you probably want it to be, a fairly coarse grind,
Yeah.
lower temperature again because these are easy to extract. So the goal for me is to avoid that over extraction funkiness out of the coffees.
Yeah.
These do tend to be better, less extracted on the water side. But yeah, I typically would drink this over filter over
Yeah.
espresso. But if you're experienced on, like more like decent users that have like decaf kind of profiles that know that they can like adjust the temperature a little bit lighter at the end, especially, I think you might have a pretty good time with it as well.
Okay. Can you tell me about your Colombia?
Yeah. Yep. So
Colombia, how do you say?
Narino.
Norino.
Yeah, I probably butchering it too, but that's kind of what
Yeah.
I understand.
Okay.
Yeah. So Colombia, this is kind of a little gem that we found. We bought this from Royal Coffee,
Yeah.
Mike Ward, which is kind of our coffee rep at Royal Coffee, and he, we always basically flat out ask him, "Hey, what's good on the cupping table over there?" He
Uh-huh.
said, "Hey, this is the one to try." We tried it, we loved it. This is about 4 or 5 months ago,
Mm.
and we bought it. We bought a couple bags of it, and it's basically a washed coffee. It's a light to
Yeah.
medium roast, not ultra light, but it's definitely lighter. It's a blackberry fruit punch and
I know.
expressive is what we call it. So, um, yeah, this is kind of a gem. This is probably one of the better values on the menu if you're into kind of some a little bit fruitier forward
Yeah.
coffees and you're not wanting to spend 25 bucks for 8 ounces. This is I think 19.99 for 12 ounces.
Yeah.
So this was kind of a gem on the menu, I think, for value for fruit forward coffees for people.
Okay. I'm gonna about to brew this coffee right now with using the Xbloom. So I'm gonna be using grind size 70 and a 1 to 16 ratio. Okay. So let's give it a try. So again, I
Okay.
think this is the one coffee that I was pleasantly surprised.
Yep.
Okay. Was pleasantly surprised.
So somebody asked about freezing coffee in a freezer Ziploc bag. If you can get the air out, that's really I
Hmm.
think whatever that means. You just want to get the air out as much as possible. And then seal it up if it has a one-way valve on there. So if you can get the air out, I think that would be
Yep.
fine as well. Let's see here.
The power plant is asking you what is your favorite filter method?
Yeah, I mean it's AeroPress. I'm a huge AeroPress fan.
Yeah, you're a big
Yeah,
fan of it, right? I mean,
yeah.
can you show my viewers your AeroPress Premium behind you?
Sure. I can bring that here. Yeah.
Yeah, so Brain got the how many did you get? One or two?
I got two.
Okay, yeah, he got two AeroPress Premium. He got look at that, guys. That's yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, AirPress for a couple reasons.
Yeah.
It's hard to get a bad brew on it. So when I'm drinking coffee, obviously the past 4 or 5 years, I'm just trying to get an idea of what the coffee is
Good.
consistently. If I'm screwing up pour overs, testing coffee, you know, uh, consistently,
Hmm.
it's not going to be good for me when I'm trying to test the multiple coffees. So for
Yep.
me, this is like almost a sure shot to get a good expression of the coffee. It's a filtered brew, so it's a little bit more clear. We can distinguish the notes a little bit better. If it was even like our
Yeah.
cupping, like if you're just doing standard cupping, it tends to be a little bit muted
Yep.
and a little bit muddier than what this would
Hmm.
have. So I'm very confident typically on AeroPresses
Yep.
with a full immersion of our filter papers in here to get a good clear representation of the coffee
Hmm.
confidently. And that's pretty much what I'm looking for when I'm testing out the coffees. I do see myself doing more pour overs here as time
Okay.
allows. Um, to kind of see if I can actually make a better pour over than an AeroPress. But
Yep.
it's kind of an easy way to get a great cup of coffee without messing it up pretty much. So
Okay. We have a new viewer. Oh, hold on a second. I am new subscriber. Laval. Laval, Canada. Okay. And let's see. I like to buy. Okay, I like to buy Xbloom Studio. The only concern is how long will last, right?
okay, yeah,
What I
I have
hear, customer
yeah.
service is terrible. Go ahead. What is your thoughts?
I have a lot of experience with
Yep.
the X Bloom. I think we've gone through. three or four of the
Yeah.
studios. Um, Customer service can be hit or miss. I think it's one person, but they have
Hmm.
taken care of me so far. So, version one, we could not get a good brew out of it. It could have been our
Hmm.
unit, could have been
Yeah.
not brewing correctly. We
Mm.
pretty much lost out on the version one. Version two, I did the rental program, which was
Yeah.
fantastic, $30 a month or something. And then I said, hey, I want to. This is great. We love it. And I was kind of burned off the first one, so I was, hey, let's do the second one.
Hmm.
And basically, it turned out great. We loved it. We got great brews out of it. We're happy with it. We wanted to buy it. I guess I had to return it and get another one because I
Okay.
think it's a separate system. We returned it, got the new one. Had a arm issue. We ended up one of them didn't heat up correctly. It didn't go over 150. They took care of us. We sent in what they needed. They
Yeah.
took care of us. They basically have been taking care of us on these machines. So I've been pretty happy with the customer service with them. I just feel like if it's one person and they're overwhelmed, it might not to get back to you right away, but they've taken care of us on a couple of issues that we've had. And so I've been happy with that. I would probably rent it low if you're worried about longevity. I think if you do the math, I think it's like 12 to 15 months you'd have to rent it to kind of pay for the unit.
Yeah.
They might have a new version in 10 months from now that you might want, and it'd be kind of great to get that for rental as well. But I think the renter program is kind of a no-brainer. Returning that was really, really nice and easy too. So I
Yeah.
got to give them props for that.
Okay, hold on. Here we go. Cheers. So this is the Columbia. Okay. Blackberry. Let's say fruit punch and espresso. Okay. Let's give it a try here. Man, it's very pleasant, sweet. In contrary to your watermelon burst,
Yeah,
is very mellow, and this is the
yeah,
honey process, right?
that's right. I mean, anything after the strong cold ferment is it's going to
Yeah.
be. That's why we like to try to drink these cold ferments last on the table because it does kind of taint your palate with it's making it hard to kind of taste everything else. So yeah, usually we drink those absolutely
Man,
last, but
so whenever I drink this right now, so it's cooling down. This your
hmm
watermelon burst, getting more and more the Jolly Rancher. Okay.
yep,
Yeah. I mean, it's very
yeah, it's super
smooth.
sweet,
I mean, so we are talking about just a built-in grinder here, guys.
right?
Just regular built-in grinder from Xbloom. It does a pretty good job. Okay.
Yeah, I think so too.
It does pretty decent job there. So again, uh, I bet you if I'm gonna try with like my EK or my 078, it's going to bring out more juiciness.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
We
But
we've done a good amount of side by sides with our
mhm,
078 and the internal because it's
yeah,
so easy. We have two of them. That's why it's nice because we can run them at the same time.
hmm,
We actually found it improves, but it wasn't as dramatic as what we
yeah,
thought it was going to be. If I run the Xbloom built-in grinder, assuming it's the
yeah,
same grind setting, and then I run that with an AeroPress, I'm going to see a bigger
mm,
difference side by side. But for some reason on the Xbloom, there wasn't too much of a difference for us when we kind of did
okay,
side by side grinders. Talk about his water source and process.
yeah.
Sure. So yeah,
Go ahead.
we obviously make our own water. We have a reverse osmosis system here. We
Yep.
start with zero TDS water. We basically have been on the half holy recipe, which is I think it's like 30-10, which is 0.239 magnesium chloride to 0.08 grams of baking soda
Okay.
per gallon.
Okay. So what Brent does? So here's the magnesium chloride. Okay,
Right?
and then here is the just the baking
Baking
soda.
soda.
That's
That's
it.
right.
Just the baking soda. And I do have a recipe on that. One of my channel, one of my video as well. You just search for half holy water, holy water. So here's the recipe. Okay, but here's the thing about the. So what Brent does right now, he just straight. Okay, he does not make the concentration. Okay, he just straight put 0.239 grams. Okay,
That's right.
and the 0.08 grams of baking soda.
Yeah, which is nothing basically.
Okay, it's nothing. Okay,
It's just a little,
okay, so the problem we have is the
sure.
scale, right?
That's right.
Okay, I mean most scale you cannot get that accurate.
That's
All
right.
right, so
Yep. Yeah,
so
you can get away with the jewelry scale, $15, $10 to $15 ones. We have a Pixis that we use.
yeah.
But if you told me like, hey, are you gonna taste the difference between, the ratios of the Pixis versus like a jewelry scale? It's pretty close. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, but again, we are talking about such small amounts, and then we are talking
right.
about gallons, right? We are talking about 1 gallon of water. So, we have it doesn't need to be as long as it's close enough. I mean, you're gonna be just fine. Okay. So
Yeah,
jury
yeah.
scale for $15, or I know Brent, how much for that Pixie scale you spent? 250,
Ooh, yeah. I think I
two
well, yeah, they
fifty, two
don't make them. I
seventy.
think it was 200 ish on
Yeah.
their Kaya's garage sale.
Garage sale you got from
Yeah,
their garage sale. So
that's
yeah,
right.
it's not cheap. So again,
No,
any scale with as long as it just shows you 0.00 on it, you're gonna be
sure.
fine. Okay.
Yeah. If you also have lunar, you can adjust
Yeah.
the mode on there. It gives you another decimal point.
For the
Which
yeah,
I
Kaya Lunar. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I still don't. It's not as accurate as the Pixis I heard
No,
from
no, not at
Steve.
all. I mean, so Pixie is the most accurate. I don't know.
Sure.
You can't even get it. I'm not sure. I don't
Yeah,
think
I
you
can be
can.
on Discord
Yeah.
right after this if you want a quick chat. I know you think you
Okay.
would. So yeah.
So Matt say, what's the Matt say? Matt say he's having issues with the Aiden. Man, sorry
Ooh,
to hear that, buddy.
that's your realm. Oh,
Yeah.
is it? Yeah. What's going on?
So Matt, you just return it, okay? Just return and get a new one, all right? Or just get your money back. Yeah. Sounds like to me you're having a bad experience there. So, all
Yeah,
right.
I'm not
So,
sure what's going on. I know someone
yeah,
else, yeah, was having some issues. They returned it as
yeah,
well. But yeah, it's such a low cost product too.
yeah. I mean, Aiden, yeah, it's not finishing, bro. It shuts up. Yeah, so that's definitely something's wrong with that machine. So, I mean, machine like this is hit and miss. Okay, so Aiden or Xbloom, they're brand new products. All right, it's not like you're buying a Bravo Barista Express or it's been around for a long time, but this machine is new. Okay, especially this model right here. It's about a couple years old. So you're gonna have some hit and miss comes to machine wise. So
Yeah, the Xbloom update on the easy mode where you can program it to dummy buttons like one,
yeah,
ABC on there has been a game changer for us. So it's been I mean, I got to give it to their app developers and what they're doing there. I mean, they seem to be constantly updating it, and I feel like they're on the last stretch of it actually being very consistently
yeah.
good software wise. So good for them.
Okay, so power plant has a lot of opinion on.
Yeah.
Okay, shout out to power plant. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Was companies should not release alphas to the public. Okay. uh that is a bad practice. Here's the thing about, okay, so you have to remember they are small companies, all right, so they don't have time to, just like buying a Kickstarter, right? Just like buying a Kickstarter product. There's nothing more. I mean, hopefully they're gonna ship it out and they're gonna fix the bug, you know and then after that, they are going to, get the better model out. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it is unfortunate. I wish, they come up with the final product and ship it, but most times I feel like they're shipping at like 95%.
Let's see. You still there, Hoon?
Yeah, yeah, I'm here.
All
Okay,
right,
go ahead.
there you go. All right. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, I've heard really good things when the Aiden is working. I've heard nothing but good
Yep.
things on the quality that comes out of it. So
And there's a
if they return it and they're
yeah.
that's good if they can bring it back and send you a new one.
It's
As long as they
a
do that.
it's a power plant that hold them accountable. I mean, accountability is people just not buying it. That's it. People are just not buying it. They're gonna have a bad review. All right. I mean, I think that's especially coffee industry are so small, as we know, they're
Yeah.
tiny, tiny. I
Yep.
mean, if you have a couple of bad reviews,
Yep.
I mean, do you remember like a couple of months back, Lance put this one company out of business, the grinder company? Remember
No.
that?
Well, do you want to say which
Yeah.
grinder company it is?
I think that God, I forgot the name of it. They come up with the 078. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
no 78 millimeter, not 078,
Okay.
78 millimeter company. That's the Kickstarter. He
Sure.
did, yeah, he did a bad review, and after that, the
Yeah.
company, yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, no one cares
that might
about
have
it.
happened regardless.
Yeah.
But yeah, they definitely have a power of influence, for sure. So you gotta be a little careful sometimes, but yeah, it's valued their opinion for sure. So
All right, so let's see here. The people are calling me here. Hold on a second. Can you hear me?
yes, yeah,
Yeah,
you sound
perfect.
good.
Okay, so and the power plants, they influence get them to buy. Yes and no. I mean, so yeah, it's only a handful of influencers out there actually influence it. Maybe like one or two influencers, but yeah. Again, because a lot of, especially my viewers, I mean, you guys out there, you guys are very informed. I mean, you guys not just jump into buy stuff. So yeah, I
Yeah,
do. I do trust you guys to make an informed decision. But again, it's only a handful of products. So anyway,
somebody
let's see here.
asked if there was one thing
Yeah,
you wish your customers know about coffee roasting.
yeah,
What would you want them to know? Um, I don't know. I'd probably want to encourage them to dive in if they can on their
sure.
own.
Yeah,
I think it's fun. I think it's can be easy at somewhat
hmm,
for starting out, and I think it's not on a pedestal. As I don't think it
yeah,
should be on a pedestal as much.
mhm.
But yeah, I think trying it for yourself is probably
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
yeah is encouraging.
Okay, hold
Having
on
a
a sec.
roaster, yeah. Go ahead.
The power plant said, "Don't listen to anyone who gets things for free. Don't listen to them." Okay,
Yeah, you
uh,
got to read between the lines a little
yeah.
bit on some
I,
of the
I think a power
influencers, but
plant needs to join our Discord. I mean,
yeah,
do you have our Discord link? You gotta pop in, okay? Yeah, you should definitely. The power plant, it'd be very good for our Discord community. So
yeah.
yeah,
It's pretty obvious after watching,
yeah,
studying the influencers for 5 years, kind of who is really saying their real opinion, who is kind of fluffing their opinion, and who is, you know, outright just reading the
yeah,
brochure, right, to
yeah.
get the product. Um,
Hold
so
on a
it's
sec.
yeah,
Hold on a second here. Power plant said, "I have it, but I ain't got time for that." What are you
sure.
talking about? You are here right now, buddy. You are here hanging out with us. What do you mean you don't have time? Okay, so you have plenty of time. Anyway. You know what?
Hey,
I mean, this is the best thing about my live streaming, so I can talk with you guys. Okay, I mean, I mean, so this is the best part. I can
yeah.
talk about gears all the time. I can talk to you. I mean, talking to people like Power Plant. We have a whole bunch of people, Matt as well, Winston. We have a whole bunch of people. We have Darrock. Hold on, yeah, we have a
Oh,
lot of
nice.
friends. Yeah, yeah, they're fantastic. Okay. And here's the thing about the even people get a lot of influencer, right? The high-end influencers.
Yeah,
They pay for
yeah,
their products too.
for
They
sure.
don't get for
Yeah.
free.
No,
Okay?
they don't need to. So when you start paying for your products or don't get them for free, there's kind
Yeah.
of this unconscious part to where you don't feel necessarily guilty on doing a bad or being more open and honest. I think that's kind of human nature
You
when you
human
when you pay for it.
so here's the thing about that as well. Okay. Because I know a couple of high influencers, okay,
Hmm.
they buy their products, all right, their own products. But everybody knows each other. Okay, everybody knows each other, so
That's right.
they don't talk about, I mean, it's hard to bad mouth about some products even they even pay for. Okay,
Yeah,
so I mean, so that is the tricky part of reviewing products. The fact that
yeah.
go ahead.
It just depends who cares less about what other people think, really. I mean,
Exactly.
so it
Yeah.
kind of depends on where you're at. But I think that's apparent when you kind of watch the influencers, who I know, three or four people that I
Yeah.
trust everything that they say, and I know, hand more that they're just reading the brochure, because they
Mhm.
wanted the free items. But it's an interesting landscape, and I think it's one that you definitely need to think about if you're in that position and how you operate. That's a big deal, I think, in my opinion, because you have a lot of influence in such a small world. One
I mean,
person, like you said, could bring someone out of business,
but
if that's the case.
even the coffee communities are huge. Okay, we billions people drinks coffee, but you know what? The specialty coffee communities are tiny. Okay, they're so tiny. All right. Yeah.
Hey,
So
did you
I mean,
did you end up opening your Guatemala yet?
yes, I did. Yep.
Nice.
So there's a milk duds.
Yeah.
I did it with the espresso yesterday. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so this is just released like an hour ago. So we have this on the menu right now.
Okay.
Yep, I've been loving this one. I actually drank it all. I was planning on drinking it on here, but I didn't have I drank the last bag of it here. We'll be roasting more of this today, I believe. But yeah, milk duds, graham cracker, and chocolate. This is another kind of one of those gems that we found. This is from Falcon Coffee, actually a new coffee supplier that we've been working with
Oh,
as
by
of
the way,
late. Mhm.
you did mention about the discount for our viewers, right?
Yeah, yeah, we
So
have
what's going on?
we're gonna do 20% off for the next 5 days off all
Okay.
merchandise, all coffee. It's live right now. Just enter 20 at the checkout.
Okay.
It's everything but greens. We're not doing a discount
Okay.
on greens. But you can get your paper filters, your coffee, your glassware. We have a lot of glassware on there right
Okay.
now.
So right
Um,
now, about 50 people watching. The 20
yep,
is a
at
code for
checkout.
20% off for entire order except the paper, you say?
No, except
Oh,
green. You can
except the
you
green beans.
yep,
Okay.
yep. You
All right.
definitely can get your supply of espresso paper filters. So we've
Okay.
been knocking those out like crazy. So
So Matt, okay, Matt say I haven't ordered Good Brothers coffee before. Top three picks. Right now, my top three for me is Brent's Liquor Amber. Okay, I like that one. And right now, his Colombias are
yeah,
fantastic. So
that's the juicy pour over that
yep,
Matt is probably looking for. The traditional espresso would be if you want a dark roast, our liquid ambers are most
yep,
common. Other than that, probably our espresso blend medium
yep.
would be the first one. The wash pour over, man, we just ran out of our Ethiopian buncho. That would probably be my number one.
Okay,
Um,
but
Good Brothers
Colombia is
coffee
yeah.
background.
I mean, Colombia is not that bad either.
No,
Okay.
no,
Yeah, I mean, so there. By the way, so do not use my coupon code. Use the Brent's code 20% off.
20. Yep,
Okay. Yeah, my code is only 15%, so make sure you use the Brent's code for 20%.
yep. We
Yeah,
do ship to Canada as well. We ship
yeah.
worldwide as well.
So,
We're trying to
so
yeah, it's a little bit expensive shipping out of the United States. It's like twice as much as everyone else coming in for some reason. But
yeah. So again, Liquid Amber,
yeah, for darker roast.
Colombia is definitely winner for me. All right. Okay. Yeah. Jackie, 20 is 20% off for
Yep,
yeah for the lunar year. This is a year of snake, by the way.
that's right.
Okay. Yeah, 20% is really good. Okay. I mean, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. I mean, most roasters, they don't even give out discounts anyway. So,
No, we're pretty open. I mean,
yep.
if people have a bad experience, they don't like a cold ferment or something, we're
Yep.
happy to refund them.
Hmm.
Really any issues at all. We're pretty much our goal is to be like better than Amazon. So, cause as far as anything, so we're pretty much will accommodate anyone.
Okay.
So
So,
yeah.
again, if so, Liquor Amber, Colombias are fantastic. And then, so if you're going to pick one more, what's going to be for
Well, our
Matt?
new Guatemala is fantastic.
Yep.
Can't go wrong with our Brazil.
Okay.
Um, The Buncho was fantastic, but that just
Okay.
ran out.
Yeah, right now.
Yep. God, there's so many. Yeah, I think that kind of covers it. Let's
Okay.
see. Yeah, good brother. Yeah, the code is just 20, so 20. Yep,
20.
at the
Okay.
end. Yep, at the end of the final checkout. Um, I'm
And
not Q grade certified. I hopefully soon or in the next year or two. That'd
yeah.
be amazing to do.
And which roasters you have?
Yep,
Brent's using the air roaster. What's the
that's
name
right.
of that? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a roaster by Coffee Crafters. It's a 10-pound roaster. We are desperately needing there are two 18-pounders here, so we're kind of prepping for two 18-pound Valentas is what they called
Mm.
from a company called Coffee Crafters.
Yeah.
So it's air roasted coffee, and we've been loving them, and their customer service is
Oh,
fantastic too.
okay.
So
So because as you guys know, there's like a couple different types of roasters. We have a drum roaster. We have a pretty much air roaster. Okay. And there's a pros and cons for both of them, but comes to, man, drum roaster can be so expensive. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Oh
it's
my
it's
gosh,
uh,
that's
it's
ridiculous.
bigger. They're usually more expensive. They're a lot more maintenance compared to
Mm.
ours. Ours is really really low maintenance,
Yeah.
which is fantastic. Yeah, our roaster runs around 2 hours a day right now. So we're yeah every day. So we're definitely if we could run a sale like this, it's gonna be kind of crazy typically. So um, but yeah, there are some benefits. The air roasters typically, the coffee crafters typically are a third of the price of what drum
Yep.
roasters are. Um, so there are cons too of the air roasting. Typically, it's
Mm,
limiting on size.
mm,
The biggest air roaster we can get, beside the civets, I think is 18 pounds. So
yep.
they're kind of maxed out to weight
Hmm.
wise. Drum roasters you can get 100-pound drum roasters. As needed. So if we maximize our two 18-pounders, we are going to have to go to a Loring for that. So
Man, lowering is what, 100 grand, right? 80 grand.
yeah, it depends what size you get. Yeah, plus install and all
Yeah,
that fun
yeah,
stuff.
they're
It's
crazy.
it yeah,
I mean,
it's
that's
gonna
why. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, it's gonna be yeah, it's gonna be it'd be very expensive. But I've been loving the coffee off a lot of the Loring. So um is I do not have ground control. I think that's
Mhm.
do not have that.
What is it? Is that what, software?
I think that's the coffee extraction.
Okay.
I think that Black and White uses that for their used to use it for
Yeah.
their decaf. Yeah, and it extracts you, I believe, a certain percentage. Kind of for cold brew, I believe.
Hmm.
I'm really new to the ground control um hardware, so I'm probably the last person to ask. Yeah, batch brewer. Okay. Oh no,
Yeah,
we
but
do not have that.
I mean,
Yes.
thing about the most coffee roasters out there. I mean, that that pretty much use the average roasters. Okay, it's not like they go out there spend thousands of dollars on it. So
Yeah.
it comes to
Um.
go
Yeah.
ahead.
Go ahead.
So
Oh no.
so it comes to quality. I guess I prefer the air roaster over. I mean, unless if you are using really really high end, roaster
Yeah.
like Loring or
Yeah.
Stronghold. Okay,
Sure.
I think I mean your roaster is pretty much as good as any other roasters out there.
It, yeah, it depends on what you're doing with the bean.
Yeah.
I think our roasters have our coffee crafters appear to have
Hmm.
a better ability to roast darker coffees
Yep.
better. I think where the Roastronics and like Loring's have a better way of roasting the bean more
Hmm.
internally better kind of throughout the roast, um which typically you can get a lot of really really light roasts that appear to be underdeveloped on the outside but actually are more developed on the inside. So there's an interesting, I think, advantage to certain types of roast levels on those Loring and like Stronghold as well. So we drink everything. So we love to drink other people's
Yep.
coffees to see kind of what everyone's drinking. We'll do the ultra lights. We do a lot of September, Picky Chemist. So
Yep.
we definitely need to be aware of what roasters take, the general consensus
Yeah.
of particular roasters, what they're good at. What we're better at. Et cetera. So we love to kind of bring in all sorts of coffee here to figure out what the next steps are for us, because we're just trying to improve as much as possible.
And that's okay. So, I mean, since you're a roaster, so how much is the experience or how much is the machine comes to roasting good coffee?
Depends on what roast levels you're
Okay.
going for.
Yep.
Dark roast, you're going to be kind of getting the same kind of no matter
Okay.
what you're at. What's special about like the lighter roast is that
Mm-hmm.
there is definitely more of a skill set. I think when you're trying to
Mm-hmm.
develop the coffee at a light roast to get to get kind of more brighter acidity type coffees. And I think it's basically knowing your machine. I think is
Yep.
the most particular issue, and I think that that's something that you just learn as you do
Mm-hmm.
it. So I think it's definitely not something that is that is necessarily easy to do initially, but I think it's something that you just need to do it. And I'm
Yep.
confident that most people can get it down and roasting if they just trial and error. So I don't think it's a head roaster is some type of like special
Yep.
ability. I just think they have the sweat equity and doing it, and they know their machine.
Yep.
So it's just the experience of the machine. I think it's really important to know your machine's limits, the max batch size, the density of coffees. If it's a really dense coffee, I need to bring down the batch size. And you don't get that information unless you actually do it. Um,
So you
so
go
it's
by the sound and smell, or you go by
no.
the your Odyssey
Sure.
software?
Yeah, we definitely graph everything. We use Artisan.
Okay.
Thermal probe
Okay.
is essential, and having those settings set up properly is essential as well. Diameter of the
Yep.
probe, noise, and the actual signal, where the thermal probe's
Yep.
placed, how far it sticks out, how clean is your probe? So now we're like on a constantly schedule on cleaning our
Mm.
probe because it'll affect certain things, if it gets a little bit dirty on the probe. So, um, yeah,
I know because here's the thing about if you talk to most roasters out there, they go by the smell and sound. Okay, we are
sure.
talking about 99% of people out there. They go
Yeah,
by the because sometimes they don't have the capable. Okay,
right.
do the machine. Okay,
Right. Yeah. I
but
mean, well, we want to know. So it's you can do that. I think, especially if you're a hobbyist, if you don't want to be
yeah.
too involved, I think that's completely fine. If you're so that's the difference between home roasters and kind of
Hmm.
roasters that do it. They need to have a consistent batch to batch. So, for example, if our temperature is 10 degrees different in our roastery,
Yep.
it's going to affect our roast. It's going to be longer
Sure.
or shorter in certain areas. Um, and you don't get that information unless you have a thermocouple hooked up to it.
Yep.
So I wouldn't know that unless I was measuring the data. And certain beans, what they'll do is they'll on the rate of rise, the temperature, they'll just
Oh
crash
yeah.
at certain points.
Yep.
And I would never know that if I was just doing sight and sound. Um, you know, and it's crucial for us to know when the first crack happens and then how
Hmm.
long we're going to develop that and then how many seconds after first crack to when to drop. So those are really crucial, and without a probe on there,
Yep.
we wouldn't be able to really tell that particular aspect either. So I I think it's even at that very amateur level, getting a probe in there is kind of almost a must. Just to get the degrees after first crack.
Yep.
Even just that would be huge, I think, for people, at least to have some consistency with that.
Hold on a second. Is that Matt is asking me to shout out to Oliver. Okay, let's shout out to Oliver. Okay. Yeah. I mean we shout out everybody here in this channel. All right. So yeah. Anyway, hey, so by the way, if you're just joining us, Brent going to give you guys 20% off. So make sure to check out the Brent's coffee.
Yep.
Okay. And
And
they
in
just
5 days, Tuesday, I
yeah,
think Tuesday at midnight Eastern, I think technically.
yeah,
Yeah, 2-0 at the end. We got new Guatemala and new Colombia out right now. This should be the two on the menu. 20% off everything but greens with code 20 at
yeah.
checkout.
And this again, if you have something fruity, I really enjoy the Colombia. Okay. And if you are into like kind of like if you're into like milk-based drink as well, latte or Americano, Guatemala is also fantastic too. So yeah, make sure it's definitely. definitely try that for sure.
Thank you, Stephen. It's 2-0, the number
Yeah,
2 and 0.
number two
Easy.
zero. Okay, hold
Yep.
on. So Steven say the holiday blend was excellent. Okay, good.
Oh, good.
And
Very
hold,
good.
the power plant say, is the pizza Bianca overrated? I don't know.
Pizza Bianca,
Yeah,
overrated.
yeah, Bianca. Yeah, I have no
Um,
idea.
I feel like the next 3 to 5 years of espresso machines, they're going to be all kind of a boilerless.
Okay.
And I think that for a lot of people, including me, the startup time and heat up time waiting for
Mhm.
30 minutes is kind of the cutoff that people don't want to wait any more than 30
Yeah.
minutes for their machine. Having this big old dual
Yep.
boiler, waiting half an hour for your portafilter to get warm, I think is kind of becoming old. So as far as the Bianca, that's currently what's going on. I still think it's a great machine. That's probably was one on my list for a while.
No, hold on.
Um,
No, no. The power plant
oh,
is a pizza
what
Bianca.
is? Oh,
Bianco.
my bad. Okay, I'm thinking something
W-
totally different.
Yeah, what is pizza? Is that pizza place? What? Yeah,
Do not know.
yeah. So hold on a second here. Dogman said, "Dude grows his own wheat." Okay, I haven't been. Okay, dedication. Okay, so shout out to shout out to
Oh, okay.
Dogman. Dogman there. We have
Yep.
oh hold on. That's right. The pizza. Okay, yeah. So
Okay.
I drive by once. Is on Central Phoenix. So what happened was he opened it in Tucson a while back. Okay, they closed down because he did not. They did not get enough business. All right, they're extremely successful in Phoenix, but whatever reason they failed in Tucson. Yeah, so we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, but you know what? I never been. I mean, I was waited, but you know what? I said, forget it. Line was too long in Phoenix.
Oh,
But
good.
yeah,
It's busy then.
but yeah, they are really busy over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was on Oprah show a while back as well. Yeah, yeah. Let's see here. We have Winston expect the group. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Winston said, "Do you expect more group head hitters like Meraki in near?" I think so, right? Yeah, because Durabowler has the Bravo Durable has a, group head hitter, correct?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it does.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've been doing some experiments with my
Yeah.
Bianca where I'll preheat my portafilter in the
Yep.
kettle before I use
Yep.
it, and I've noticed actually a significant difference on
hmm
quality and taste. So, um,
is
yeah,
that decent? Hey, Mike, decent has a heating element on the group head. Yeah, let me know
I'm
if
pretty
a
sure they
decent.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it does.
yep,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that
Okay.
is becoming pretty standard on a lot of the newer machines.
I mean, like Meraki does, they can
Yeah,
set a different temperature as well. So yeah.
really. On the group head, you can set a different group head temperature.
Oh yeah, you can change the group head temperature. Here we go. Yeah, this one has an electronically heated. Yeah. So I
Okay.
mean that's the heat up time is gonna be tremendously faster. Even like, E61, you gotta wait at least 15, 20 minutes, minimum 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So all right. Okay, I think we are good to go. Thank you so much for
All right.
joining us this morning,
Thank you. And
Brent.
I'm gonna
Again,
run into
again,
Discord for a little bit.
yeah, and again, just make sure you use a Brent's code. Don't use mine. Use Brent's for 20% off 20 at checkout. All right, Brent.
All right.
Talk to
Have
you
a good
soon.
one. Nice seeing you again. See you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay. So again, so that was it. And also, I'm gonna give you guys Discord link as well. Give you guys Discord link. So if you guys are nothing else to do throughout the day, just pop in. Okay, pop in our Discord. Just hang out with us as well. We go live pretty much every day. Okay, comes to live streaming, we go live every single day. And it comes to Discord, we have someone there throughout the day. We just come in and out. Okay, you don't have to stay there. Okay, you don't have to. You just listen as well. We just come in, just like hang out with your buddies, talk about coffee all day. So I mean, it is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. All right, guys, I'm gonna see you guys next time.